challenges how to do Bakasana, or crow pose, or crane pose. There's a subtle difference between crane and crow, and I'll show those to you. And I'll also show several variations that you can use to get into this gateway arm balance. If you're a beginner, you might want to have a block or a stack of books, something to elevate your feet a little bit, and a blanket. Have those things handy, or a pillow would work as well. So crane pose is the variation with a little bit more straight arms. So I'll show that to you. Spread the fingers wide, grip through the fingertips, and take the knees as close into the armpits as you can. Then begin to shift the weight so you're pressing through all four corners of the hands. Grip with the fingertips. Keep the hips high. Shift the weight forward, rounding the back. Taking the feet up high and beginning to straighten the arms as much as you can and look forward. This is crane pose with the arms a little bit straighter. That's a good variation if you've been practicing crow pose and you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. Or if your hips are pretty tight, then this is a good way to get out of the hips and turn it more into a balance pose. If you're still working on getting a little bit more upper body strength and you want to keep your head closer to the floor a little bit, you can work on crow pose. And that's similar, but you really work your arms down your shin. Same thing with the hands. Curl the fingers in, pressing through all four corners of the hands. Hips come high and begin to shift the weight forward. Look forward, round the back, and take the feet off the ground. But you don't need to worry about straightening the arms anymore here for crow pose. If you're a little bit worried about falling, you can use a blanket or a pillow as a crash pad. So if you think your arms might collapse on you and you don't want to face plant, this is a good way to take some of the fear out of the pose. So you simply put it in front and come into the pose, maybe a little bit more confidently. If you're unable to get your feet off the ground, you can use a block. So the block comes on the mat and you perch on it just like a bird. You want to have your toes toward the center so that you don't flip the block. It's the same thing, bringing the arms down the shins. Hips come high. Come on to your tippy toes, round the back. And then all you have to do is send your toes behind you. So you don't have to have a big shift in balance, and maybe you can hold yourself on your hands. The last variation is on your back. So if you want to experiment with how much work you need to do in the core to get your feet off the ground, or if you simply just don't want to be on your wrists, you can come to your back, take the same shape, and curl up, activating the core, noticing just how much ab work is involved. So that's it, that's Bakasana, and I really look forward to seeing your photos or your videos to see how you reach success in this pose.